I'm out in the woods again. Hi folks, it's Bill of the North. Out in the woods again, doing another little land navigation problem. And this time I'm throwing in a little twist. I'm using counting beads. And I've never really used those before. This is only the second time, and I just decided to make it a habit, since it is kind of a good thing to know how far you've gone on a bearing. And somewhere up there, there's a little rise or a little hill. The contour lines aren't too big around here. Probably only a 15 or 20 foot elevation, but I'm heading for it. And it's about a 1,400 foot romp from the parking lot. And we'll see how close I can get. Of course, I'm doing a triangular course today, so that's just my first landmark that I'm heading towards. And we'll see how close I get. This is some nice country out here. And as you can see, it's relatively flat. The little hill I'm looking for is probably 100, 150 feet wide, if it's actually there, and maybe 5, 10, 15 feet taller than the terrain around me. I'm in a slightly low spot here, you might be able to tell. How I'm using these counting beads, it's pretty standard. They've got 14 beads on it, 9 down here, which I count off a bead for every 100 yards, and then this is for 1,000 yards per bead. And for me, 100 yards is approximately 63 or 64 strides, paces, whatever you want to call it. So I'm right now at 300 yards and 3 paces. So I still have a ways to go. Something like 400 feet left to go in that direction. As you can see there's a lot of deadfall in places, and I sometimes have to go around or I have to go over it, and then I have to adjust my pace count, because if I'm taking a bunch of little steps, I can't count all of them, or if I'm going around, I'm not going to count those. So like I said, this is really the second time I've ever done this, so we'll see how close I can get. Well, that might be it, what I was aiming for there. By my pace count, I'm still about 250 feet short of it, but I'm looking at the topo map, and the topography kind of matches. I'm going to go on a few more 100 feet though, and just see, maybe this is an old map, maybe things have changed a little bit, but should be up there about 250 feet. If not, I'm going to come back here and do the second leg. Well, this is sweet. I'm up on a little bit of high ground. As you can see all around me, it drops away. And that's a good 10 or 15 foot drop, maybe less, maybe 6 or 8, but this matches the topography on the map, the contoured lines. And this is about 150 or 250 feet across. And the pace count matches almost perfectly, so I'm real happy with that. So that is cool. Who knew this stuff actually works? Okay, I'm going to take my next compass bearing, and we'll be heading over that way for our next leg. Hopefully it's not too wet and soggy. That ground, as you can see, is kind of muddy in spots, and there's still ice on the low spots. It is, after all, February. So I'll get back with you shortly. All right, I'm just about in the center of this little hill, and I'll try to show this on the map. It's right in front of my thumbnail. All right, in the background there's a big tree. It's the one with that Y at the top, third of it or so. That's my next waypoint, and that's a 259 degree magnetic bearing. And this leg is 2,100 feet, so that'll be about 700 yards, 7 beads on the pace counter. And I should mention that I am counting off about 64 strides per 100 yards. All right, I am at the big tree, and here I am. I'm at the big tree, and that was 46 strides, so I still have a ways to go. So I might not get back to you for a while, but I will get back to you, never fear. Now here's a thing I've noticed a bit. And you notice that tree with multiple trunks, and then those two trees have multiple trunks. And it must be a genetic thing. But it always seems like when I line up my bearing on one of those trees, I don't notice the other ones till I get close, and then I start wondering which one I actually lined up on. And I've noticed it with trees that lean in the same direction and trees with different forks, and you know, it must be genetic. Like I said, they probably all came from the same mother plant or father plant, whichever. This is the circle drive at the end of the parking lot. And I came out dead on it. The only puzzlement is that the pace count was off. Actually less than that, 120 yards, something like that. So I got tangled up in the thicket there, so I might have lost my pace count. I don't know what happened, but that's why I pick large, distinctive landmarks. All right, I have to go back that way now, back through that crap. Ugh. This is what I've gone through, and I've got another 100 or 200 yards ahead of me, I think, before I break out into some opener country, I hope. And this isn't actually as bad as it looks. It's where the thorn bushes, the raspberries, and the deadfall start getting in the way. That's where it's a pain in the butt. But this tree here is a waypoint, and I've come about 20 paces from the parking area, and I will take my next bearing here and move on. This is the longest leg. It's the third and longest leg here. 2,900 feet, just shy of 1,000 yards. So hope it's not all like this. I'm about 130 yards into it right now. So I'm pretty sure it opens up a bit up ahead. I hope so. This is why I hate roads and parks, because this thicket only grows, well, at least it mostly grows on the edges of roads. And I just crossed a road, and I have another one to cross right up ahead. And this crap is only growing by the roads and parking lots and all the paved areas. So I don't care for that very much. It's difficult to get through, and hey, you know, what's wrong with trees? Well, that stuff ended up being so thick and so many thorn bushes, I just had to go around. Fortunately, I got under these pine trees where it's relatively clear. Of course, my pace count's going to be off, but it won't be that far off. And there's the road I got to cross and head in that direction. And the next road I reach will be right next to the parking lot. I can only do this. I need two hands. All right, there, one more, and I think I'm about halfway. Well, way back in the woods there, I heard an owl a minute ago, or somebody doing an owl call, with the crows responding, or vice versa. Come on, do it again. Every time I got the camera rolling, they shut up. Here I am, actually right there where the road and the part of the parking lot intersect is where my azimuth was drawn to. My pace count's off. It's either on or it's 100 short. I got in there and then I lost my my count, so I wasn't sure if I had one more bead to pull or not. If I did and I didn't do it, then I'm right on. Otherwise, I'm 100 short, and that's okay. That's a learning experience. So once again, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed my video. Tramping around in the woods isn't for everybody, but if you like it, well, then you understand where I'm coming from. Have a good one.